Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is a rather glorious day, so let's check it out. First of all, as always, I already said it, but welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers and crypto truth seekers in general. It is October 4th. It is Monday, 6:32 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. Doge this morning. It is having a much wow moon morning. SHIB, much wow moon morning. So SHIB was already above the 200 moving average, but of course it just rocked, took off, beginning to level off. That's understandable. It probably will retrace a little bit or find the news sideways. Indicators look good. Anyway, if you are a SHIB holder, you're happy. If you're a Doge holder, if you're a Doge holder, you're very, very happy because Doge has been just rocking this crappy downtrend on the 200 moving average for quite some time. A little bit too long, if you ask me. This morning, I don't know what happened, but bam, cranked above the 200 and 314 moving average. Yeah, of course, we're seeing a retrace right now, but these are very powerful, nice, strong indicators. We will probably find support above the 200 moving average, I am sure. So Doge and SHIB on fire this morning, amongst some other things also. All right, so as always, BitcoinDailyView.com, the website, got more for you there. There's the cool little animation. BitcoinDailyView.com, got more for you there. I link to things and stuff that we talk about. Looking at the market today, Bitcoin at this moment, last hour, is in the green at 47,853. Dominance, 43.88%. Ethereum, 3,372. That is friggin' glorious. Of course, SHIB and Doge in the deep green. XRP up 1%. Nice to see. We have a lot of green and red in the, well, mostly green in the market. I like seeing that. Now, against Bitcoin, what do we see? Ethereum up 0.5% last hour. I can dig that. Doge up 6.3% against Bitcoin. Sweet ass trade right there. And against Bitcoin, XRP is up over 1%. So this is a rockin' much wow moon morning. Looking at trading volume, I'm going to refresh this one more time here. All right, here's the deal. Spot trading volume on Binance is 22 billion. That's crap. You want at least 30 billion for a good day. But here's the thing, up 13% last 24 hours. And looking at a little 7-day graph, most of that is almost immediate. So Monday morning, we are seeing some serious, we're seeing low volume overall, looking at last 24 hours, but last, few minutes, we're seeing some rocking volume come in. 70 billion is a good day for futures. Well, we're at 60 billion. Okay. That's not so bad. Up 13% last 24 hours. All right. So market entered Monday, low volume, but it's cranking up very, very quickly. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly. Sorry about this being a little bit slow. Okay, we'll come back to that. I want to see what the shorts versus longs look like here on the big exchanges. So what do we see here? All right, in the last hour, about 4 million in long and shorts got wiped out, about 1.5 billion in longs. Anyway, no great short or long wreckage in the last couple hours. All right, check this out. Bitcoin trading volume explicitly on the big exchanges, 2.9 billion, 2.95 technically. So I guess you could say 3 billion. That sucks ass. Anyway, but the market is waking up big time still. Bitcoin's not making it, dumped earlier. Well, we'll look at the chart. We'll look at that anyway. Low volume on Bitcoin, market volume all over. Market volume spot, on Binance, which is where I look. Low, but starting to crank anyway. So basically, the market was asleep over the weekend, but it's waking up with Monday morning wood, and we're seeing some good stuff going on here. Anyway. Bitcoin versus USDT on the daily. Of course, we're above the 200 moving average. You can see this little green line right here. We're working with previous support and resistance. It seems like we're going to hold this current 47,000 plus trend. Looking at the daily MACD, it's powerfully positive. It's nice. I like what I'm seeing here, and the histogram just keeps opening wider and wider. This is a damn good day for Bitcoin on the daily. I like it. It's glorious. We are working slowly towards the top of this wedge. If we can break above that, which it looks like, well, right now that's the direction that we're headed, at least for the moment, then oh yeah. All right. Now here's what I think many people are wondering right now, and I think kind of where some of the hesitancy on Bitcoin comes from as far as its price action is right here. This is Bitcoin versus USDT on Binance. It's a 4-hour chart. So as you can see, this Fibonacci sequence that was drawn, low is over here 20th of July, high was 6th of September, had this beautiful run up. And basically this entire thing, this entire chart is working very well, matching Fibonacci levels. You can even see the golden pocket here between the 6 0.50 and the 618. That was a place that we actually did find some support and bounced off there. We haven't come to revisit that yet. We haven't really gotten past the .5 except for some wicks. So with that said, now we're above the 382. It's all about, are we going to range now between the 382 and the 236? Which would be between basically 44,000 and 47 or 48,000. Are we going to range on the lower side of that? You can see back here, we definitely have. And like I mentioned before, it's really, to me, I see a lot of things as whale games, and right there. So they were, they were ranging it right there and buying the bottom right here. They were ranging it right here between these fib levels, and they were buying the bottom. They were buying right down here. They were buying these wicks. It is a coordinated effort. I don't mind. It's just reality. So, I mean, I'm here to make money and win. I'm not here to complain about the efficacy of whales. So with that said, we are above the 236 fib line here, and it seems like more and more we are building support above it, and that's nice. We're above the 200 moving average, which is very, very good. In the 314 green Madrid ribbons, all looks good. Are we going to find support here and start ranging here? If we do find support above the 236 fib line, it's going to be a range basically between like 48,000 and 53,000. Maybe we'll range there for a little bit before we break out. So basically, are we going to range down here between 44,000 and 47,000, 48,000? Are we going to range between like 47, 48,000 and 52,000, or just keep on rocking? Anyway, the longer you stay sideways, to me, it ends up being support. Although if you look back here, as you can see, I've kind of been here before. You ride right on top of this 236 fib level. Are we going to go boom up, or are we going to go boom down? So I think there's a little bit of hesitancy. It's just my opinion in the Bitcoin market right now. What are we going to do? Which way are we going to go? But overall, in the 4-hour chart, these indicators are looking pretty good. Stochastic RSI says you sold enough, time to buy. It's in that sweet-ass buy zone. Directional index is green. ADX is in the right place. Although it is somewhat losing a little bit of its velocity right there. It's okay, though. It woke up this morning ready for action. Wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear, a very, very powerful indicator, especially on the 4-hour chart, where Bitcoin is showing time to cool off and go sideways a bit. Anyway, bit of an indecisive chart, and that's why I think Bitcoin's kind of a little bit sideways right now. As you look at the 45-minute chart, you know, if this fib was still here, it'd be like right down here. You would see that 236. Well, anyway, sideways as F. I mean, how long have we been riding this thing sideways? Let's check it out. We've been kind of going sideways for, boom, 3 days and 3 hours and 45 minutes. So that's just the reality of that. We're ranging sideways. It's not a bad thing. It's just plenty fine. I'm going to get rid of this. So if we look at this, the directional index is beginning to trend positive. ADX, the fulcrum is looking up. Stochastic RSI shows people are buying like crazy. KRI is going, yes, it's a good day. Wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear on this very, very short time frame says, buy. It's time to run. So we shall see what happens. Really, you know, I mean, it's a strong chart. Bitcoin's looking happy. I think it's just a matter of where are we going to range, the low side or the high side. I think it's trying to decide that. Or is it going to just straight up win moon today? Like I said right here, it could be that we, you know, come up here, range a little bit, or we go straight through it, and it's much wow moon time. That's a technical term. All right. With that said, Ethereum versus USDT, it's a little bit perky this morning. Its chart is looking good. I see these positive indicators. Directional index is closing towards the positive. ADX is moving up. Overall, definitely Ethereum versus USDT has a lot of room to move up right now. Looking at the 45-minute, sorry, that is the 45-minute chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, oh yeah, we're good. We're good. We definitely could have. Well, we're riding the 200 moving average really hard here on the 4-hour chart. And if we zoom in, it kind of looks like we have recently wicked down, or well, body the candle down to a 314 moving average. So let's just see what happens. If we can make some support here on this 200 moving average and start moving up, we're going to be good. We're top of the RSI K, but that's all right. Overall, these indicators definitely look like it could be when moon time for USDT on the 4-hour chart. That 4-hour chart, 4-hour charts in general, are very good indicators of trends, in my opinion, for crypto, especially looking at the 45-minute chart. It definitely looks like it's time to perk up a little bit and move up. We're in the middle of the RSI cave all as well. So you Bitcoin versus USDT, I'm definitely watching that, because I think as the market does, if we have kind of a recovery this week, if things start moving up, it will probably outpace Bitcoin. And with that, it brings us to one of my favorite trades on this planet, is this one right here. Ethereum versus BTC. If it can outperform BTC percent-wise, running up, sweet way to make some badass Bitcoin sats. And what's it doing? Well, little BART pattern here, but went to the 200 moving average, wick to it, bounced off hard. Directional index is showing positive trend. ADX is starting to cool off a little bit, but it's kind of in the right spot. KRI looking good. Stochastic RSI moving up. 45-minute chart, wave to an oscillator, definitely a contrarian, grumpy indicator. It's right more than I care to admit. It pisses me off. But with that said, it's showing buy. So for you know, for that rare occasion, the truth and my will are one. So with that said, looking at a 4-hour chart for Bitcoin versus for Ethereum versus BTC. We got above the 200 moving average. Got above the 314 moving average range between there and the 200 moving average. Right now, we are below the 314 moving average. 4-hour chart is not looking exactly strong, but it looks like it's on a run up. So with that said, the day is young. Let's see how that goes. The 45-minute chart definitely does show a possibility of a run up, making some sweet sats by Ethereum versus BTC trade. Just watch out for the 4-hour chart because you probably will find resistance if it starts running here on the 45-minute chart, which will be right around 0.70670 sats. All right. With that said, 45-minute chart looking nice. That's really, really nice. We're seeing a nice, strong balance off that 200 moving average. Right now, looking at these indicators, I don't see any real reason why that would turn around at this moment. So maybe make yourself some sweet sats. With that said, of course, never financial advice, entertainment purposes only. I'm a crazy dude in his garage. It was kind of a nice looking car back there. And note the trash can that I always feature. Anyway, with that said, VET versus USDT 45-minute charts. It's moving up. VET, it's good. Look at that. Definitely got room to move up. These indicators can definitely get going. VET is one that I'm watching. That's why I'm sharing it. VET versus USDT, possibly a good move today. Probably looking good against Bitcoin, I would imagine. DGB, Digibite, everyone likes it. It's a groovy coin. I think Cliff High used to talk about it back in the day. And looking at these indicators in general, it's above the 200 moving average. Nice thing is on a 45-minute chart, the 200 moving average just crossed the 314 moving average. That's fairly bullish. Our Madrid ribbons are not green yet. But anyway, looks like kind of a 200 moving average balance to me. We'll watch this little guy. Watch this directional index turn green. ADX is looking good in general. Let's just watch what it does. DGB versus USDT definitely could be a runner this week, but it ain't ready yet. All right, Sol versus USDT. I like seeing Solana do well. 45-minute chart. It turned that frown upside down. It's been above the 200 moving average for a while. It's been pumping. It kind of dumped with Bitcoin's recent volatility. Right now this morning, it is on the up and up. KRI is looking green. That's nice to see. Directional index green. ADX is not quite trended up yet. Wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear shows, yeah, time to buy. Stochastic RSI, it's showing pumping, but it has not turned around yet. It ain't overbought yet. Let's look at a 4-hour chart for this. All right, above the 200 moving average came down. Never even touched it. Oh man, look at that on the 45-minute chart. Right there in that buy zone, that stochastic RSI, badass. Although, where oscillator by Lazy Bear says it's losing momentum. Well, anyway, with that said, KRI is green, picked up. The directional index is beginning to get greater velocity towards the upside. So on the 4-hour chart, Sol versus USDT looking damn spiffy. With that said, 45-minute chart, it's kind of in the go zone there. A little early. I might wait for that ADX to get around 20 or 22 or so, or 23. Let the directional index get further green, show some upwards velocity. Anyway, just do note one thing. When we get up here in general with the stochastic RSI, I got to tell you, I kind of wish it wasn't the truth, but I mean, it is the truth. When we get up here, something I've been noticing, when you're here, above, that's in general when not necessarily you're going to turn around and dump. No, hardly. But it's when you're going to start going sideways. You definitely see, it seems that we lose momentum up there in that range. And I mean, that's fine because it's the same as down here. When you're in this range, it's oftentimes for a turn, it's oftentimes, time to turn around and make some money. So I would say maybe just noting this because, well, there you go. Maybe we're going to sideways for a bit. Anyway, with that said, definitely Sol versus USDT, especially on that 4-hour chart. Looks like we could have a nice run this week if it continues being positive. Of course, looking at Doge versus BTC, we had some kind of crazy news or something this morning, cranked like crazy. Now we are retracing. Let's look at a 15-minute chart to see if we can get an idea of what's happening here. Still retracing, definitely coming back down. Look at a 5-minute chart. How are we looking? All right, maybe we're starting to find some sideways at this moment. But anyway, whatever happened, Doge versus, this is Doge versus BTC. I'm sorry. Doge versus BTC is cranking like crazy. Let's look at Doge. Man, if you traded Doge against BTC, you're probably happy right now. Let's look at Doge versus USDT. Okay. Doge versus USDT. Oh, how funny! I had a fib there from the past. Doge versus USDT looking great. It broke above a recent high that we see here via the fib line. This is a wonderful thing, looking good. It would be really exciting if we actually bounced off this top fib and then made that resistance. I should say support. If we can bounce there at dot 2255, if we can find a bounce there, bam, that might be sweet. So I'm kind of going to be watching for that. We're rather far from the moving 8 average, which is right about here. This is a lot of this is a lot of much wow pump. But if we can find support at the 2-3 at the top of this here, I mean, I'm going to be watching. So if we find support there, also kind of got to find out, why did this happen? But this has been resistance. If that becomes support and Doge starts to move off of that, and the indicators still look strong, which they look pretty good to me right now, I might be hopping in for a little bit of Doge action. Just I have a small Doge hodl, and it's in the green, and we'll see if we can keep it that way. One thing about Doge, it did wick way up here towards the 4-hour 200 moving average, but it did not quite cross it. 4-hour indicators look pretty darn good. So whatever's going on with Doge, like I say, I'd watch for support where it was previous resistance, right around dot 2255 sats. We find a bounce there on the 45-minute chart as I'm seeing it. I think that might be sweet. All right, looking at SHIB's kind of doing the same old thing that Doge is doing, but the big difference is Doge started below the 200 moving average and made a powerful run. I'm sorry, no, on the 45-minute chart, Doge was above the 200 moving average. Sorry, SHIB cranking, it's retracing. There you go. You could kind of do this exactly. I'm going to do a quick little fib action here. If we go here to our recent high before this mega pump. So really the thing is, if we can find support, if we can find a bounce off this level here for SHIB, like I don't know why SHIB is cranking. I don't know why Doge is cranking. Maybe Elon Musk did something. I don't know. But if we can find support here, make a bounce, that's going to be really, really sweet. And that would be 902 sats. So if we can find a bounce there at 902 sats, that'd be kind of sweet. Indicators for this kind of pump don't tell you a whole lot, really. But moving, I love it. It's wonderful to see. Algo has been moving hardcore recently. It dumped early this morning. It's begun to turn up. Its indicators are turning up. So Algo versus USDT, I believe personally, this is a great place to use a channel. If I can find it, sorry. Bam, make this channel right here. Yeah, fair enough. We'll do that. It's maybe a little bit sloppy. But anyway, channel, this upwards channel, you can see the heartbeat has definitely been respected. It's been riding that heartbeat, kind of cranked up to the top here. Also, it cranked up to the top of the channel and the RSI cave, kind of interesting, dumped. But now it's finding support on that mid-range, that heartbeat of the channel right there. Not bad at all. I pumped. Also, it's returning to the 8 moving average, which is kind of cool. And indicators are sweet. I mean, directional index is in the green, watching for that ADX to turn up. KRI is about to flip into the green. Stochastic RSI, boom, it's in that sweet ass buy zone. Even wave to an oscillator by Lazy Bear, which is a grumpy bastard, is beginning to turn up. There's that tangent. It's going to turn up pretty soon where the oscillator turns to cross the signal positively. This is wonderful. Algo versus USDT. I will probably be dropping a little bit into this morning because Lambo. All right, with that said, Sol versus BTC. I don't know why I've been watching this one, but anyway. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I had a trade in this one. So that's why I've been watching it. All right, Sol versus BTC, making a bump this morning. Indicators are turning up here on the 45-minute chart. So if you want to make some sweet ass stats. With that said, Sol versus BTC might be a way to do it. Not financial advice, entertainment purposes only. But just saying, Sol versus BTC might be set up for a nice run this morning. How about Sol versus USDT? Did we look at Sol already? No, that was in an alternative timeline, I guess. So with that said, Sol versus USDT, looking in the green, it's nice. It's in the air. It's in the middle of the RSI cave. Indicators are now turning up. I mean, the stochastic RSI is on the way up. Wave to an oscillator by Lazy Bear is on the way up. KRI is on the way up. Directional index is on the way up. KRI, so the ADX is trying to get perky. Anyway, a little bit of indecisiveness right now, especially because this guy's pretty extended as it is. This guy's been running, pretty good profits for a while. But It did take a dump. It did cool off, and now it's starting to move. These indicators in general look good. Personally, I think all goes indicators look a little bit more perky, a little bit more ready to continue. So with that said, let's look at Doge again. Doge, how you doing? Doge. Looking. Oh, we looked at this all twice. Sorry, that's retarded. I didn't mean to do that. Doge looking good. Let's see if we can get that bounce off the previous resistance. Doge looking good. Let's see if we can get a bounce off that previous resistance, make that support, and the same with SHIB. Anyway, with that said, Bitcoin one more time. What's Bitcoin doing this morning? Anything happening? Indicators are slowly turning up. So it looks like Bitcoin might start, moving upwards this morning, or at least not lose its sideways perspective. How is the Bitcoin trading volume? Let's just see if it's perked up a little bit. Is it even over 3 billion? It's funny that this chart's a little bit slow. That's a little odd. Come on, usually pretty fast. And still hanging out there low. Anyway, with that said, everybody, this is a glorious mooning crazy morning. I dig it. This is the kind of Monday we all like. It seems like Bitcoin was kind of sideways on low volume over the weekend. Let's see if this uptick in price action for many alts, and also Bitcoin slightly moving up. Ethereum, I think, might outperform it, of course, percent-wise, if the whole market starts going up. And Ethereum definitely is poised to do that. It's looking good. An ETH BTC trade. ETH USDT. Yep, it's slowly perking up, kind of like Bitcoin is. And then, of course, you got ETH versus Bitcoin. Let's see if it can outperform. That might be a sweet trade, but right now I'm not quite feeling it. What am I going to do this morning? Probably not much. I'm going to wait and see how the market does, but I might do a little bit of algo versus USDT action. I think this one could definitely continue up. Just put a stop below this heartbeat and probably going to be good to go. So remember, everybody, it's Monday morning. It's glorious. On a random thought, yesterday, 1993 was when the movie Black Hawk Down took place. And that's when a lot of people got shot up. And that was actually the beginning of a lot of advanced trauma care that the military kind of spearheaded. And so, here's to those young kids, as I see it, being 51, who got blown in half for the benefit of trauma medicine, because I don't think it was for freedom. So with that said, moment of silence for those characters. They really went through shit. And then right after they got blown up, I was there for 4 months with NMCB 40, experiencing the worst 4 months of my entire life. So for those who suffer for whatever reason, for the better of others, amen. This week is for you.